Okay, let's continue. This is the final part of our conversation, and I think it's necessary to let the youth respond to anything that has been said, and then from there we formulate what we perceive as the way forward. But I would love, as we conceive and also as we structure what we consider as the way forward, let it be led by the young people for you to say how you would like this process to unfold going forward. We should not be the ones to lay down a program and say this should be done. But you guys should be able to say this is what needs to be done. The platform that I shared on the directory, if you didn't get it, I can post it again so that you can be on the directory and be able to hook up with other youths in other different parts of the world as well. It's a relatively new project, and it seems to be moving pretty well at the moment. So please feel free. Do come in. I don't know who wants to speak first. Please feel free to speak.
Sorry, I missed what you said then because I had a phone call come through on the phone.
Okay.
So I missed that last bit that you said. That's why I went silent. So you want us to speak about?
I want you guys to basically, if you have any issues that you feel you need to respond to from what has been said by the elders, please do that. But my main thing is for you guys to formulate what you perceive as the way forward from here. I don't want it to be a scenario where we sit here and we say, this is what needs to be done, because this is more of a youth program that we are looking at. For you guys, if we can facilitate a scenario where you guys can hook up and collaborate and run, then definitely very, very happy with that. The idea is not for us to control the activities going forward, but it's for us to be able to be the guiding voice, if I can call it that. But I would like you to talk about what you've heard, if there's anything that you want to talk to on that aspect, but mainly it's about talking about the way forward. And also I was encouraging the fact that it's important to consider signing up on the directory so that the directory will be able to show you other youths. Because the idea, the directory basically has two aspects to it. You can either sign up as an individual or you can sign up as a representative of an organization. So I'll put it back on this chart, the item with the directory there, so that if anyone didn't get the site, you can get it from there. I've put it on, no, not yet. Yes, it's now on the chart, yeah. Please feel free to come in and speak. Any one of you can come in.
I think again it just boils back to ensuring that in the regards to the hub aspect, that also the young people can continue to work together and encourage other young people to get involved, so we can actually all work towards supporting ourselves, you know, and liberating ourselves. I think in regards to, because I was told that it was just specific to around Soweto Day, so encouraging things and opportunities for Soweto Day locally, like whether we host our own events in the community to other established local Black community event communities. So, or even just kind of just, we need to get our heads together basically. And I think in regards to the financial aspect, is that yeah, we do need financial freedom to enable us to continue, because obviously we are trapped within our finances. But again, I think that boils back to community, people to donate, to want to kind of do fundraising, you know, be willing to kind of look on the element of money. And I do agree that people do kind of shut off when it comes, anytime anything involves money, regardless. So I think that's something as a people we need to kind of, you know, look into more, and just try to not be scared of it, but try to kind of encourage each other to raise awarenesses, support schools, support education establishments, support local community initiatives within the community. So I just think it's something, I think obviously the elders have obviously tried to do a variety, because I know that I've got family members that have contributed to the liberation anyway, and they've done a variety of contributions. You know, as a child, I went to the Gambia, I went to, and you know, I've experienced it through Saturday schools and the different parts of Africa I've been to. But I just think it's always just trying to kind of get other young people on board and to encourage young people to kind of join, so we can actually have that hub element of it. But I do agree that finances is a big thing, but it's like it's something that's always been a big thing, but no one seems to have conquered it yet. So I think that's where we have to try and knock heads together to decide on what we're going to do to kind of have our economic freedom, really, with that, because we need our own economy, but it's not something that we have.
True.
Yeah, I would just like to add on what she just said. Another point I would like to make is that what we young people are good at is controlling the narrative through social media. That's something that we should continue to do. Like when I was reading up about Soweto Day, the thing that struck me was this guy called Sam Nzima, the guy that took the picture of Hector Peterson, who was killed during the conflict, and how the power of the media, using the power of the media to tell our stories.
No, that's very, very true. That's very
yeah.
I see we've got Samuel and we've got Thomas. Is there anything that you want to come in on there? Because I fully agree with you on the power of the media. Okay, yeah. Because you see,
particularly social media.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Carry on, Samuel.
Yeah, no, because I've just, as you said, I've just come from the bus, so I didn't get all of it. But from what I've gathered, and I'm guessing just as regards to repeating, I think, the main thing is probably to find out locally. So say, for instance, those that are in the UK, to kind of find out how we can contact, etc. Those, say, for instance, with America, you know, it seems to me that when it comes to a collective that have, you know, a power base, that's something that we lack. I mean, it's something that we've lacked, say, for instance, from our elders, so it's from young and from old. You know, we seem to kind of get close, and then for some reason, you know, there's a disband, and what happens then, it breaks down as well too. So I definitely think the collective is something that we need. Another thing as well too is, I totally, you know, yes, marriage as well, great thing as well. However, though, it is also about the self-development. And, you know, with economics, you know, I mean, I hold my hand up as well too. It's a case of, well, how do I, you know, self-develop myself in order so that I'm financially stable, so that I'm not financially dependent? I mean, can you imagine, say, for instance, of young people, let's imagine if you had 5 millionaires that are sat at the table, it connects a different scenario. And the truth is that, you know, we do have economic ventures and stuff like that. We do have, you know, there are a number of economic opportunities. It's just a case of just getting those on board. And when we do have the finance, it's then putting it forward to, you know, to something as well.
True. No.
I agree with brothers, with Samuel. You know, we do need to, like you said, touch base with people that do have money, like in the community, celebrities, you know, those that do pay an interest in what we're trying to do. And there might be people that want to donate some money, but we can't just, you know, there are people that do have money, like he was saying. And like, if we had like us having money now, the scenario would be totally different. So I do agree with what you're saying, Samuel, on that in regards to the economics.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true.
And I would just add, just being consistent as well, because sometimes we tend to have this rush of energy and it lasts for a short period of time and then it dies out. Like, we're not consistent with our energy, and that's something that we need to learn to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Thomas, do you have anything to add? And I see you have Sbusiso Kumalo has just joined. Yeah, thank you. Please come in, Sbusiso. And I see you've unmuted yourself. Do come in. I'm not sure whether you are a youth or an elder, but you're very welcome to make a contribution.
I'm an elder.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, that Babu Kumal. Ngenaba.
Yeah, no, in fact, I must apologize. I got the invitation, but I just got so busy. But this type of, I'm happy about the previous speaker. I think when she talks about consistency, it's not an agenda as Black people which we lack. Because in everything that we do, we've got, especially in South Africa, where I come from, we have a tendency of depending on white economy. So it's kind of difficult because even the government, it seems to lack the political agenda to take the Black man to the next level. Because if you think and look at what actually happened during the apartheid years, the Boers were looking after themselves. And 25 years later, we are in government, but we still don't own anything. We're not even halfway through what the Afrikaners did in 50 years. We should be halfway through. It's kind of embarrassing when we see these type of talks. Black people sit down and talk, and when it comes to making action, then we lack action because we just need to start somewhere. I hope this is not going to be a talk shop. It's going to be something that will take a Black person to the next level. Because when you say talking about African economy, and 80% or 95% of the economy in Africa is controlled by whites, then it's kind of strange.
That is the strange part, Babu Kumalo, and that is what we need to be able to address, because it does not make any sense at all that we are in Africa. We constitute 90, if not 99.9% of the population of people here, but there is not a single African country where we are in charge of the economy. And on the contrary, what we are busy doing now is inviting the Chinese to recolonize us. We seem to be so content with this look east policy, which personally I do not understand. We were caught up in a scenario where under duress, we looked to the West because of colonialism. When we got our flag independences, we still looked to the West. And then now we seem to be having this falling out with the West and we're not happy. We want to look east. But we're not taking a position where we're saying, let's look at ourselves. The answers are within us. The answers are within the collective. Why can I not trade with Ukumado, go and trade with Van der Merwe instead, whilst Ukumado can give me the same service? Or why should I give Van der Merwe a better service, but I can't give Ukumado the same quality of service? But when Van der Merwe is dealing with Van Stonder, he'll give Van Stonder a good quality service. So we have this scenario where we as African people, even when we talk about creating our own economy, we have no problem giving each other shoddy services. And I used to see this even when I was in the UK, that our own people, when you're dealing with them, they will not give you the same quality service as they will give to the British white people there. And you come to the continent, it's the same thing. You find even professionals who would rather give professional services to other people, and they get so excited that they gave a European excellent service, but they don't care about giving an African poor services. So we need a serious mindset. And like I said earlier, when I was introducing the School of African Awareness, that one of the core fundamentals of the School of African Awareness is to shift the mindset of the African, so that we can begin to do away with the impact and the effects of miseducation and diseducation. And then we'll be able to build an African economy. Now we're just at everyone's mercy, basically. You go to West Africa, the Lebanese are having a field day. It's now a competition between the Lebanese and the Chinese, so and the French. So you just don't know what exactly is happening out there. Yeah. So okay, Thomas, did you want to say something? Okay, I think Thomas.
I think there's some technical issues.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's some technical
issues. Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
Look, Bongani, was that a hand up?
Yes, I just wanted to. I think you've closed it up, but in any case, I just wanted to correct just one minor thing here. When I talk finance, I see the young people captured me from a point of finance, the spaza shop, and etc. I'm sorry to put it that way, donations, etc. That is cool.
Understand the spaza.
I'm saying.
Please explain to them what a spaza shop is. You and I understand it.
Yeah, what I was saying. Yeah, the small scale financing within the system. I'm a hawker, then I sell, and I am talking about interrogation of the actual system. It cuts across the globe. Remember, when the households are in debt, it's not because most of the time the households default, it's systematic. When the country is in debt, it's not most of the time because the state is reckless. Most of the time not, but it's systematic. So there's a lot of manipulation within the financial system itself. Now I'm saying when young people gather together, yes, get the donations and others to keep you going, but the discussion, the core discussions, they must be in head from what Kwame Nkrumah was trying to achieve, what he was trying to alert us. So the financial system is very messy to a point that it doesn't give space for those in developing countries to breathe. In any case, Caribbeans, in Pacific, Africa, even if you are in Europe, even if you are in America, you still treated as such. So that's the kind of a finance that I'm talking about, related to what Sbusiso and Sabelo talk about, the relations of trade. Those are things that we have to deal with in our discussion. We're not in the 50s. I mean, Kwame Nkrumah was talking about these things in the 60s. And then immediately in the 70s, the whole ball game changed. I mean, when the boom of oil in Nigeria, it brought consumerization, etc. So those are things that we have to look at it. Now, the trade itself, the motives and altruism are things that we need to discuss. Whom do we align with on trade? We must understand trade, this is a jungle. If China comes in and we're not clear of our motives on trade, of course, they're gonna kill us, they're gonna bite us. So those are the discussions that we have to get to. So we have to define our agenda as such. Now, the last thing that I just wanted to bring it to your attention is the creation and maintenance of captive domestic audiences. They mentioned, I don't know if I pronounce you correctly, you see this captive, the credit itself is based on this maintenance and creation of captive domestic audience. Most of the time is driven by media. And now media, we're not going to beat it as Africans because most of the time we don't own media. Now you as young people have an opportunity. I'm just, I attack the social media at some point, but I hear what she's saying is saying we have a power there on the social media. But now within the social media, you have to have that program that how do we capture the domestic audience with the proper agenda, informative agenda. Informative agenda that deals with the system within. You don't try to be actors in the systems like we've been doing. We, our generation and the generation before us, we've been actors in the system. You're not going to do anything in this system. You're just acting in a bucket that is closed. You must break it. You must find ways to break it. Break these systems. Come up with new ways of doing things. Like I've said before, I said there was a financial repression. Then there was democracy deficit. There's COVID-19. Now COVID is giving us an opportunity to rethink as young people. How do we break these systems? How do we break them? You cannot break these systems by donations. Donations will take you to school, will buy you books, etc. But you must think the models, break them. I am saying to you, financial sector, financial systems in the globe are very horrible. That's a system that kills us. That's a system that represses us. So those are the things that Nkrumah saw long time. That's what I'm saying. So let's not confuse this financial system. And she's saying, you've got the tool, at least that you can work upon it, that can meet with the current existing established media. The established media is always owned by those who control the finance. By the way, this financing, it doesn't build any it doesn't build anything. It only creates profit. You know, we have a situation where it's accumulation, money is exchanging hands, it doesn't build anything. But at the end, there's profit. Where this profit comes from? It comes from me and you, because we're on the other side of the people that are running these exchanges. Monies are driven through portfolios, etc., through our institute, to our countries. And profits, I mean, those are the things that we must try and address and question them through means that you've mentioned, that is social media. So we've got a lot of work. Let's not think within the basket, you jump around the system, you're not going to do anything. If you jump around within the system, we've done that, it's going to end up being you just survive. Yeah, you just survive. It's right, so you get me. So you'll survive within, but you want to leave. So let's break the bucket and question the systems. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bongan. I think I hear you on the issue of the media. I think what, my understanding from what Ndei was saying was that let's not confine ourselves to mainstream media, but because the young people.
Yeah, I was basically.
Carry on.
Yeah, I was just saying that what social media has allowed us to do is just take control of the narrative that the mainstream media has done for the past time immemorial. Like, they've always told our stories, but they've told our stories in a very biased way, and that's what social media has allowed us to basically take control and tell it through our own eyes.
No, that's great. Thank you very much.
It is a strength. It is a strength.
Yeah.
Remember, we have a mainstream media that tells a story, one side of a story, and then you guys, we've got a end of media that is social media. Then it's the same with the finance. We have the established economics that talks established economics, and you've got the challenge. If you go finance, like I normally talk about, you've got those that they say this is financialization, and you've got those that they say no, that this is not financialization, this is deepening of financial sector. So they tell different stories. So you guys, you have to question those things through your random access to this other media that tells a story that is free for all. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, fully agree. Okay, so I suppose the most important takeaway that personally I am getting from this is the necessity to collaborate and work together. And I really would like to honor and thank the Pan-African Congress Movement UK for the role that they have played in making this happen and making sure that the young people, particularly in the UK, active in the program for today. I really appreciate that, and I thank everyone who has participated. in the program for today. And one of the things that I would like to share with you amongst the futuristic aspects of the work that the School of African Awareness is doing is that over and above being involved in promoting the directory of Pan-Afrika, we are finalizing an online Pan-African study course. And we're looking at launching it on the 17th of August, which is Marcus Garvey's birthday. And if anyone is interested to find out more and also to participate in whatever will be going on going forward, please make sure that you get in touch. I've put my details there, the email address for Uphondo Community Network and my cell number, which also is my WhatsApp number. Yes, you wanted to say, sorry, my sister, I didn't quite get your name. You still have Galaxy written at the bottom there.
Oh, no, my name's Hasina, sorry. No. My name's Hasina.
Hasina, sorry.
I didn't even know, it's changed that.
Yes, Hasina,
yeah, I'm going to also have to go. Pardon?
You wanted to say something there?
Yeah, I do have to leave, so I just want to kind of say to everybody that I have to go because I've got another appointment. But I think in regards to the youth element as well as with the elders, like in terms of exchanging details as well in the group, that'll be good. So at least we can kind of stay in touch. And you've given us your details as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please do get in touch, and also please get into the directory, and then we see how we build this directory. And this is part of what will begin to address the alternative finance system that Mubongani is talking about. Because as long as we don't know who is who and where they are and what they're doing, it will be impossible to have these collaborations. That's like what Babu Kumado was saying as well. So I think that brings us to the end of our program today. Thank you very much for your participation. Let the spirit of 1976 Soweto Uprising continue to inspire all of us. And definitely, if you hook up, we'll keep you informed of the other programs that we'll be running as well. But 17th of August, we'll be officially launching our program in as far as the Pan-Afrikanist online education platform. Thank you very much. Hope to.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure being with you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.